What's good, Commanders fans? So, Commanders day one of OTAs is in the books. We will start out with basically just pouring one out for Jake Fromm. Shout out to him. He was released today from the team. You kind of saw the writing on the wall when they brought in Jeff Driscoll. You're going to have, of course, Jayden Daniels as your starter, Mariota as the backup, and then Jeff Driscoll most likely will be the third string guy. And then they brought in Sam Hartman. UDFA this couple weeks ago. So you kind of saw that happening there, and I was kind of like, were they gonna let those guys battle out for the practice squad? But then again, you got to think about the reps in the preseason. Like, there's no room for any reps really for Jake Fromm or any time for him to come into a preseason game and really compete for a third string or second string job like at all. So I kind of think it was the right move. Will Jake Fromm be on the practice squad? Most likely not. Jake Fromm, he had a good preseason last year. Like, he had a couple good throws to Mitchell Tinsley with the third string guys. I thought he played pretty well, and in the third string, I thought he was fine. I mean, we know he's never going to touch the field or anything like that. So if he's just going to be holding a clipboard with the third string in the practice squad, I didn't mind it. But look, they think that Sam Hartman has the chance to be a better player or more potential, and they rather just have him in their quarterback room or quarterback practice room or film room rather than Jake Fromm. So Jake Fromm will probably be picked up by, if it's not an NFL team, then the XFL season is going on, the UFL or whatever is going on right now. You got the Canadian Football League, so he probably will find a place on the practice squad in the NFL or something like that, holding a clipboard for sure. So shout out to Jake Fromm. Like I said, he played well, man. That Ravens game, he played well in that preseason game. We don't snap the streak without the way that Jake Fromm played in that preseason game for sure. So he will always be remembered for that. I know it was a meaningless game, but he will be remembered for that. All right, so let's just talk about, I guess, attendance. Everybody was there. We had a couple guys that didn't show up last year, but it looks like everybody was there. They did ask Dan Quinn about his shirt. Emmanuel Forbes was on the podium. Sam Cosmi, Zach Ertz. Trying to think of some other. Johan Dotson talked to the media as well today. So there was a couple people that talked to the media. But this is from Mitchell Tinsler, some of his tweets. I'm going to read a couple of his tweets. He says, to assuage everyone's concerns, yes, Jayden Daniels was at OTA. So that's good to see that Jayden Daniels was there because he was not a rookie minicamp. He was not eligible to participate. Also, Brandon Coleman was getting some right tackle reps at OTA. So, he played left tackle in college, left guard, but he does have positional flex. I know it's kind of tough to hear those two words because Ron Rivera used to use those words all the time. But Brandon Coleman does have positional flex. So this is the time to see, where they want him to be. I know they want him to play left tackle. So it is intriguing to see him playing at right tackle because most likely Andrew Wiley will be playing right tackle. And then Sam Cosmi will be your right guard, Tyler Biadasz, center, Allegretti, left guard, and then most likely Brandon Coleman or Cornelius Lucas playing on left tackle. So those are some interesting things. And then Mitchell Tinsler also said this guy, Tyler Biadasz, might just be the key to the success of the offensive line this year. So that stood out to me. Also, I do want to see the tweet from Chick Hernandez that said that Jayden Daniels played really, really well today. I'm trying to find that tweet real quick. Yeah, he says Jayden Daniels, wet, heavy ball and all, is zipping darts during 7 versus 7. Now, somebody said pause on that. No diddy. Who cares about that? But that is good to hear that Jayden Daniels is looking good in OTAs and throwing the ball well. So even when it was raining outside, not great weather, guys were getting down and dirty and working hard. Tress Way is also wearing number 10. If you guys care anything about that, he is wearing the number 10 right now at the moment. We'll see if he does change his number to a different number, but he wore number 10 to practice for the people who care. All right, so let's look at Zach Selby's notebook as well. Just talking about some of the recaps from practice. So Jayden Daniels, he did throw an interception today. Nobody really tweeted that out except for now Zach Selby coming out with his notebook. But his first pass, he threw an interception to James Pierre, the cornerback from the Steelers. So that's good to see from James Pierre. You don't want to overreact to OTAs. I know Sam Howell had an awesome day on the first day of OTAs. I think Carson Wentz was really good in OTAs too. So you never really want to get too caught up in OTAs. I remember Jimmy Moreland. I love Jimmy Moreland. He had like 3 interceptions in OTAs. So you never know. I like Jimmy Moreland, so no knock against him. But of course, you just don't want to take too much stock in OTAs. But James Pierre, let's see if he makes the roster. Good special teams guy with the Steelers. Had a couple interceptions with the Steelers. Let's see if he makes the roster and can make impactful plays. He also said that Zach Selby also says Daniels shrugged off the mistake and delivered 3 darts to his targets, 1 to Davion Davis and 2 to Bryson Tremaine. Bryson Tremaine, I don't think he'll make the roster, but he did look good last year in preseason. He's a good target, and he also looked pretty good in rookie minicamp, according to Rick Snyder. Also, Zach Selby says Zach Ertz has been around several talented quarterbacks in his 12 seasons. And while they haven't spent much time together, he can already tell how unique Jayden Daniels is as a player. Excuse me. Some other play-by-play stuff. He said, Zach Selby said, the 7-on-7 period was split into two sections. Daniels and fellow rookie Sam Hartman were on one end, with Marcus Mariota and Jeff Driscoll on the other. Marcus Mariota has been praised by the coaches for his veteran experience, and it came through several times in practice. One of the best examples was on a pass to Johan Dotson, ripping the ball between two defenders. So I love to see that for Johan Dotson. I want to see him get a bounce-back season this season. I still think he's very talented. I think he's a legitimate number 2 receiver in this league. Last year, I just don't think Eric Bieniemy was able to get the best out of him. Some of it was on Jahan, but I just don't think him and Bieniemy saw eye to eye, and just Bieniemy just didn't target him enough and give him the football. And there were just times I feel like Jahan was just uncomfortable with Bieniemy, just to be honest. He just looked kind of tight, like he just wasn't his usual self, and he wasn't utilized in the red zone. And I hate to give Scott Turner credit, but Scott Turner did he did a good job utilizing Johan Dotson in the red zone. The Jacksonville Jaguars game, the Giants game where he got a touchdown, both Giants games where he got a touchdown in those games. But Dallas, he caught a touchdown pass. I mean, if he didn't get hurt, he might have had 10 touchdowns if he didn't get injured. That's one thing I will give Scott Turner a little bit of credit for. He found ways to get Johan Dotson the football in the red zone, and Eric Bieniemy just was not able to do that at all. Jason Pierre wasn't the only defensive back who got in on the fun. Anthony Pittman picked off a pass from Marcus Mariota later that day. Noah Igbenogbe, I'm sorry I'm butchering his last name. Noah I nearly repeated the feat a few plays later, and Jeremy Chin snagged a pass from Mariota near the end of the day. So it's good to hear that Jeremy Chin is making some impactful plays. He got an interception as well, so that's good to hear that. Also, he said that wide receiver Luke McCaffrey has been one of the most interesting players to watch in practice. His route running, hands, and quickness have all been on display, and he had the catch of the day on a deep shot from Jeff Driscoll, who slung the ball near the end zone for the rookie to slide underneath for the catch. So Jeff Driscoll, his route running hands, so he made, Luke McCaffrey made the catch of the day. So let's see if he can be that wide receiver number 3 and step up. Maybe he moves up on the depth chart over De'Ami Brown. He's a good red zone threat and a good contested catch guy. Barely dropped the football, was one of the best contested catch players in college football last year. Finally, in quarterback news, Cliff Kingsbury has been a fan of how running backs Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler have worked together so far. They really complement each other well. They feed off each other, and we're really excited about that room. I'm excited about that room too, man. I can't wait for that nasty dynamic duo where you just have thunder and lightning, man. Thunder and lightning. Brian Robinson with the thunder, and then Austin Eckler being your home run hitter, that third down back out of the backfield. So I'm excited. He'd be a wide receiver out there too. So I'm excited to see what Cliff Kingsbury does with Austin Eckler lining up in the slot, maybe sometimes outside, just being creative. Basically what was supposed to be done with Antonio Gibson. I think they can do that with Austin Eckler for sure. And he's a red zone target too, for sure. So he should make it easier for Jayden Daniels to finish drives in the red zone as well. Dan Quinn. So Scott Abraham. Let's see here, because he talked to Emmanuel Forbes. He had a question for Emmanuel Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes said that Jayden Daniels, he has a great deep ball. He's obviously good with his legs, and his progression is pretty good. Talked about that. Sam Cosby said that Bobby Wagner called him out in practice. Said that Bobby Wagner said that Sam Cosmi was pulling, and then Sam Cosmi was like, "How do you know that?" To Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner told him that he was leaning. That's how he could tell that Sam Cosmi was pulling on the play. Frankie Louvu says that having all the guys here says a lot. Is voluntary. Is going to take us where we want to be. So once again, everybody's showing up. No knock to people who didn't go to voluntary OTAs last year, but it's good to see everybody there. That's one thing I will say. Whether it's a veteran, a rookie, whatever, everybody is there. From Frankie Louvu to Bobby Wagner to everybody, Deron Payne, John Allen, everybody is there. So that is refreshing to see for sure. Like I said, I'm not all up into you have to be there for OTAs and stuff like that, but it's good to see. Johan Dotson on Jayden Daniels, he said, that's the quarterback I wanted. He said, I can say that now. So that is funny to hear that he said that. Very interesting. What else? Let's see here. Of course, I'll show a few clips in the beginning, just some passes like Jayden Daniels, stuff like that. Emmanuel Forbes did talk about Joe Witt Jr. in that he did have a top 30 visit with the Cowboys. Of course, the Cowboys were reportedly interested in drafting Emmanuel Forbes last year, but we got him at pick 16. Dotson also said the offense is simplistic for now as they learn the basics. There's a sense of urgency, though, and the coach staff has been good teachers as well. He's been very impressed with Jayden Daniels as well. Sam Cosmi said that Jayden Daniels has wheels and the offense has plays built in to use that. So that's what I want to hear. If you're drafting Jayden Daniels, you have to maximize his talent. He has talent that not a lot of quarterbacks in this league have. Just that speed, the wiggle, the burst, where he can make guys miss. You have to maximize his talent, and he can be another weapon. You have to account for him as a runner, B-Rob as a runner, Eckler as a runner. So, I mean, you have to really, really use Jayden Daniels as a weapon, just that dual threat quarterback. So I'm excited to see what Cliff Kingsbury does there, as he was able to do it with Kyler Murray as well. Let's see here if there was anything else. Zach Ertz did talk to the media as well. He said, you can tell, he already said Jayden Daniels, you can tell he's very talented as well. Somebody asked Cliff Kingsbury about the hat, but he didn't really care about the hat either. Oh, yeah. He said, Emmanuel Forbes said he was very excited that we hired Dan Quinn, says the Cowboys brought him in for a top 30 visit. And Frank Luger says he loves the scheme playing fast and flying around, and that Bobby Wagner is a treasure trove as well. Johan Dotson on Cliff Kingsbury, he says he really plays to our strengths, tries to make it easy. So I'm excited to see that too. And Johan Dotson, he said on Jayden Daniels, not sure I'm allowed to say this, but that's the quarterback I wanted. So he's allowed to say that now. And he got that off his chest. So that's really about it for day one of OTAs. I don't think the media will be there tomorrow. Oh, Dan Quinn on the t-shirt, he said, I think one of the parts of me taking this job, I was excited to bridge the past and the present. What a cool privilege that is to do. I also recognize there's a lot of layers to that. So it was a great lesson for me. What I really hate is that any attention that would have been taken away from these rookies in this awesome crew, nobody wants to do that. So that's what he had to say about the shirt. And that's about it. Terry McLaurin was there catching passes from Jayden Daniels. And that's about it, guys. You guys let me know what you guys think. I don't think there will be any media tomorrow. I think it's closed for OTAs. And then Thursday, I will be reacting to the schedule with my Elite Channel members for the most part Thursday night. And then I should be on Juan Gotti's channel tonight at about 8:15, 8:30. So make sure you guys subscribe to Juan Gotti's channel. And make sure you guys are there for the live stream tonight on Juan Gotti's channel. He's back. Welcome back. Welcome back. May style. Shout out to Juan Gotti. Hell's Commanders. Peace.